Okay, so hello to everyone. My name is Noora Pajari, and I'm the mayor of Keuru here in Finland. And first of all, I wanted to thank you for the really nice presentations we've got this morning. And it's nice to now bring a perspective of a small town to you all. So I kind of try to keep my presentation about like a case example from a small town in Finland. Just a moment, I'll put on my presentation. Oops, sorry. Here it goes. So, let's start. It's so interesting to hear all these topics like the data, the background, the theoretical things, because this multi-locality is, of course, close to my heart as a mayor of a city, because we are at the moment thinking about all of these things because it's actually changing our life here in small city and as Mika said that we have to plan the services when people start to not yet I cannot yet not yet say that they start to move into our rural areas, but they start to work here because of the telecommute work and so on. So these services, what we can provide to people is on our table all the time. Because as Mika said before, uh, holiday residents, people who live in their summer houses, they don't kind of bring the tax euros to our city, but at the same time, they are expecting and we want to provide the services for them as well. So really relevant topic also for a mayor from a small town. But let's start. Where is Keuru? We are a town of population of 9,400 people, almost 10,000. We are located in the province of Western Finland, and we are part of the central Finland region. So our closest big city is Jyväskylä, and also from Helsinki, it takes 3 hours from our city and to Tampere, which is not now showed on the map. It's only 60 minutes, sorry, a bit over 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. So I think our accessibility to a big cities is really good. And that's also a really important thing while thinking of people moving to their summer houses or moving in to our town. It's really good to have good connections. We are a typical rural city in Finland, and here is the connection showed to you more on the left picture. You can see that as I told you about the accessibility, we are in the center and we have this good railway connection to bigger cities, Tampere, Jyväskylä, Seinäjoki. So that's also vital when we think about future. It's vital for us that people can easily come and go. If they work from our town, they still need to travel sometimes to bigger cities for meetings or seminars or so on. So that has to be really, really good and accessible for them. Um, then a little bit of our background from this demographic change. As you know, you all know that the rural areas are their population is decreasing, as also in Keuru. Here you can see these other municipalities are from our area of central Finland. So a typical development here, the population is decreasing over years. So the net demographic change is a negative number. It has been negative number for many, many years. And here you can see the change of population from 2010 to 2020. So because our population is aging, as it was said before, that people are aging in Finland. That's also what happens here. When people are aging and then not that many babies are born, that's a really challenge for us that the total demographic change is negative because of that. And here is the intermunicipal migration over years. And the last year we had statistics on was 2020. The blue statistics show the intermunicipal in-migration, so how many people move into our town yearly, and the orange one shows that how many people move out. So that has been negative in total. As you see, the what color is that? the the lila one. The net migration is negative for us, or it has been before. There's one exception in 2015 when we got positive change in that. More people moved in than moved out. But it's interesting, it's last year what happened. Our natural demographic change, the total was again negative because more people naturally die, go away than more the people are born. But what happened is that more people moved into our town than moved out. So actually, we got, after many, many years, a really positive number. Over 50% moved into our town when the number has been negative for all the other years. And that has happened, the last time was 2015, and before that, sometime in the 80s. So I can say that this is a really nice exception in the statistics, and I hope it's not a just 1 year trend, but we'll see what happens in the future. Will this continue? But this is something really exceptional for our city to see that people were moving in here, and these are the towns in central Finland, and as you can see, the big city like Jyväskylä, it always always kind of grows, but the small towns, they are suffering from this trend that people are moving out. But now Keuru is in this case a nice exception to the development. Here I have the same statistics and pictures like Mika had. Thank you for the nice survey or research you have done, because this is really useful for the municipalities, of course. And here I want to show you the routes to summer houses in Finland outside Helsinki. So what kind of distances people travel to their summer houses. And this area has grown in the years that people travel longer distances now, but basically it's 1 hour, 1.5 hours is the route or the distance that people are willing to travel to their summer house. So in that sense, our location in Keuru is quite good, actually, in between big cities. That our area is a good area for to have a summer house. And here here is the same picture as Mika had, but there's the point where Keuru is. So you can see that also we are a town that gets more more people because of the free time residents. So when you count them into the permanent population, we actually have more people here than the permanent numbers are showing. And on the right side, you can see the number of our free time residencies. So the number is growing from 2000. This statistics is from 2000 to 2020. So every year, people are building more holiday houses into our town. And actually, last year was also an like different for the other years, even though the number is rising all the time. But now even permanent housing permissions people wanted to have, the permanent housing number is also growing. So people are building permanent houses also more, and also holiday houses. So this is something really exceptional. And as I said, it's only last year, but of course, as a mayor, I hope it will be a long-lasting trend in our area. And this is also a same picture that Mika had, but I wanted to show you that also Keuru is a town where people move, and here is the was the picture of the change of population according to the mobile data from January to July. So we can say that we get more people during the summer, and this is from the COVID-19 summer. This data. And also, that's not that huge number for Keuru. How much our population grow because of the teleworking or distant working, but it's still a growing number, and we have to take that into account when we are planning our services. And I, of course, in my work, I meet a lot of entrepreneurs, uh, companies, workers, and all the CEOs of these companies. They say me that every day they are ready to hire 5 to 10 people, but there's no labor force in our area. So there's actually we have also the teleworking opportunities, but also the work opportunities in our town, but we don't have labor force. So that's kind of sad to hear that our companies, they are willing and they could grow, but we don't have people who work in those companies. So this is a really good thing that when people if they want to move into a place like Keuru, they will find work also, of course, which is vital to live when your people are choosing the place where they are living. Yeah, in the end, I wanted to show you some ideas of people we made on survey because of last year's positive development, like why people moved here, why they are seeing now countryside being an attractive place to live, and that this is something that I think it was already before COVID-19, it was in people's minds, but COVID brought the opportunity to actually think and put those plans into action to move into the countryside. And the basic idea that reflects all the views of the people is that the countryside is an opportunity for a safe, high quality and happy life. And here are some examples. The safety is a big thing for families with small children. And here's one mover, Hannah, who said that the life in our town provides peace after living in a bigger, hectic cities. And it's the safetiness that you can put your kids walking on the streets without fearing that something happens, and the nature starts right from your doorstep. That's something special in rural areas. And also the high quality, and as we heard before today, the living cost of houses, it's not that expensive as in big cities, and in places like Keuru, it's actually for everybody, it's actually a possibility to live, for example, on a lakeside, which in big cities it's not that possible for everyone. So here it's everyday life that we have lakes, nature everywhere. And of course, the secure job prospects are the thing that is important to people. And as I told, we have also those workplaces here. We have jobs, but we need the people to do the jobs. People say that in countryside is the opportunity for happy life, and these telecommuting possibilities have now brought this possibility to everybody to move if you can, of course, work from home. And that's something that company owners say to me that they can get workers, but then their husband or wife or a partner, they also need a job from here. So this commuting has brought it closer to also to bring the spouses here, that the whole family could have possibilities to live in the countryside. That's also really important. This means, of course, that uh, what we need to concentrate in our city, that we have to improve the education possibilities for youngsters. We don't have universities, we don't have professional education schools here, so that's something we we have to bring here. And now COVID has showed to us that you can get educated also in rural areas. So you don't have to always move into a big city to go to university to have an education. It's now reachable also here, but it means deeper cooperation with universities, for example, that they are willing to organize classes in our town. Maybe the teachers can come here, or with this Teams Live, that it can be online studies. But that's something that we are now concentrating on to bring the possibilities for education into our town. So I think in total, this situation is really interesting. What is happening? Will this trend of rural areas or holiday housing, the increasing number of that, is that staying? Is that long-term trend, or is that only because of COVID? What happens? Let's see. And we are, of course, doing everything in our towns to make our city really attractive place to move in. And in the end, I wanted to say that Keuro is the best place in the world to work in many places. And as you can see, here's my coworker actually working from the lake. So that is also a possibility in our town. Well, I want to thank you, and I will stay here for possible questions. Thanks.